Hi everybody, my name is Dave. I run Buffalo in 360, a small business based in Buffalo, New York that provides 360-degree live stream, video, photo, and virtual tours to my community here. I'm definitely not much of a YouTuber. I'm definitely not much of a video or content creator. Today, I'm going to talk about the platform that my business is built on, the LabPano Pilot One 360-degree camera. What I'm going to talk about today is the newly released enhanced edition version, and so we're going to discuss that a little bit throughout the course of this video. I'm a customer of LabPano. I bought the camera from them back in May at the beginning of the coronavirus shutdown here in the United States. I bought it back in May. I built a little business around it, and I've become a fan of the camera itself. So I thought I've got some good information that's going to be useful to anyone who's either interested in buying one of these, is it the right camera for them, or just learning how to use it, what it's about, and evaluating against some of the other cameras. So in this video, I'm going to do my best to be fair about this camera, what it's good for, what it may not be as good for, other alternatives. And so we've got a lot to unpack on this one. Down below, you will see an affiliate link. If you are interested in buying one of these, I would absolutely appreciate the business. You can click on the link down below. It'll take you to purchase, and I get a very small percentage of that. And so hopefully if you find any of this information useful or relevant or something that's beneficial to you, I would appreciate if you're going to buy one of these, click that link below. Keeps me up and running. That would be excellent. And I hope you enjoyed the information that I've got coming in on the rest of this video. All right, let's take a second. We're going to dive into using external audio with the Pilot One by LabPano, the Pilot One Enhanced Edition 360-degree camera. So we're going to talk about the different ways you can get audio into this, different settings, things you can use to get the best audio you can, right? On the bottom of this, we have a USB-C input. We also have a 3.5 millimeter headphone style input for a microphone or line level. And then we also have a built-in microphone, tiny little dot. It's just a mono input. So by having it mono, you can hear the same thing no matter where you look. And the only real improvement, I would think, when it comes to having like a spherical video, the only improvement would be to have like ambisonics audio, right? To have 360-degree audio. So to me, this is totally fine. The microphone that it comes with, and if you really want something good, you're going to get external audio, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So let's switch cameras real quick. We can take a look at the camera itself, right? So here, let's zoom this thing out. I got it right that time. So when it comes to audio, let's first take a look at the audio settings, right? So when I go into settings, I can scroll on down, and there's an option for sound right there, right? So I click on sound. And let's start at the top, right? First, let's take a look at it. We've got sound card, and you can choose priority. Do you want the external microphone to take priority, or do you want the internal microphone to take priority? Basically, if you have something plugged into an external audio input like the USB-C or the 3.5 millimeter, it will automatically detect it, and it will take the external audio instead of the built-in. We have in our sound back to sound, we've got speaker volume, so like the shutter, the click, that sort of thing. Or actually, you know what this actually controls is if you've got like a video on the camera and you're playing it back, that's your volume. I usually keep it pretty high up. It's really a pretty small speaker that's built in down there below the home button. And then we have microphone level, right? So that's going to be the level, whether you're using the built-in microphone or one of the external audio input solutions, that's your microphone level. Unfortunately, and I'm going to get hung up on this for a second, unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any type of metering or leveling. There's not any way to really know how much volume you've got going into this thing. And so as an audio tech myself, gain staging, the idea of having a clean line of path for your audio without drastic bumps or dips, a clean gain goes a long way, and it's pretty disappointing that there's no way to do it. It's all guesswork. So since we're on the slider, I am going to take a quick tangent here and dive into this. So this is one of the main problems I have with this. I don't know if there's other 360-degree cameras that have it, that have a better way to do it, but I'm really pretty bummed out that they don't have, that LabPano hasn't put it in. I've talked to them. I've actually messaged LabPano. I've said, hey, let's get an audio indicator. Let's get some sort of metering so we can see how much level we've got. I don't want to clip it. I don't want to come in short if I've got plenty of headroom. And so that's something that they've said, basically one day, but not yet. I have faith they'll do it. They've been doing a lot of updates that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be something like on like the front burner, somewhere on the back burner. Long list of things to do. But so this microphone slider, let's get back to it real quick. So this the slider for it, the way I have to do audio with this camera is that I got to try it. What I usually do is I set it right in the middle, and I'll try it. Right, so I'll talk. I'll use the built-in microphone, or I'll use one of the external inputs, and I'll try it. I'll run something about as loud as I can to see how it works, and I'll record a video. Right, not long, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it takes, and then you can go back and you can actually play it back. So if I load up my gallery, I can find a video, and I can play it back. This is just, I don't even know what that video was, but you can go back and you can find your videos. And you can play it back and take a listen to it. Again, using the built-in speakers, and you can at least tell, is it distorting? How's it sound? That sort of thing, right? So I'll try it, and I'll try it at this, like the center position. Is it distorting? Yes. Well, then I better turn it down here a little bit, and then I'll record a new video, and then I'll play it back. And how does that sound? Oh, well, I can get somewhere in the middle, maybe. So it's really trial and error. There's nothing elegant about this. There's no great way to do it. So again, a little disappointing. There's no place in this camera where you can meter to see how much audio you've got coming into this thing. So that's something I'd really love to see improved. Hopefully LabPano's listening to this. With the exception of the audio, the sound is pretty straightforward. Otherwise, we've got options for the shutter for photos, video, or live. And so you can just disable those if you want. But that's basically it for our sound settings, right? So now let's talk real quick about some of the different things you could do with this. So when it comes to sound, we can talk about different applications for it. So if you're doing sound, if you're recording sound, you're obviously recording video as well. So I would say whether you're live streaming or whether you're just doing a pre-recorded video, having external audio goes a long way. So my history is with like bands and concerts and entertainment, DJ, that sort of thing, where audio matters. I can't get by on just the built-in microphone. I need something better. So I've got, a whole bunch of different like mixers, audio consoles, microphones, that sort of thing, that help get into this, right? So there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. So let's start with the USB-C input, right? So it's got the USB-C input. Let's see if I can get this on camera. The USB-C input, I already peeled the little thing off, the little rubber piece, the stopper. And so USB-C, you can get an audio interface that has USB-C. They're not too hard to find, and that's a good way to get audio in. The only downside is that it's draining your battery power of the camera, right? This is also the power supply, so it works well for using, like I said, Ethernet when it comes to live streaming, for using a USB-C audio interface for this application, but you want to be able to get power to it, right? Otherwise, unless you're doing a short video, my understanding is the battery on this lasts for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of video or live streaming. And so if you're doing anything shorter than that, you might be able to get by. I would always think, find a way to get it into power, right? Find a way to keep it powered up, because you wouldn't want anything bad to happen. So you can use a USB-C audio interface. I don't have much experience with them. They're definitely out there. Bonus points if you could find one that allows for power input as well, so you can charge the thing while you're using it. Now the other one, and I have a lot more experience with this one, is the 3.5 millimeter. I just pulled a little plug out of it. And so the little 3.5 millimeter connection right there, I have a lot more experience with. And so, you know, at that point, you can adapt from the XLR or quarter-inch output of a mixer and get that right in here. And so again, you know, with no metering on the camera itself, it's a little bit of guesswork to really figure out where it needs to be. But as long as you know your gain staging, you know that when you're clipping on a mixer is when you start to clip in here. Just don't clip the mixer. And again, you sort of do that through the trial and error with this. And so you can adapt from your mixer to the 1/8" input on this using a number of different types of cables. So here's one that I like. Nothing fancy, but it does a good job. It takes an XLR female, so this would come out of a mixer or a microphone, and it turns it into an 1/8". It puts it on a stereo plug. I don't know if you can see it that well. It puts it on a stereo plug, but the wiring underneath basically takes the mono side of this, the mono balance side, and it puts it on both left and right connectors on this. So now when I pop it right into the camera, I'm getting the same signal on left and right. And again, mono would be what I would prefer for this anyway, until you're getting into like an ambisonic style audio input, which you would which would have to be after the fact anyway. That's going to be one of the few times you would need a computer, because this doesn't support any type of ambisonic audio built in. It doesn't have any type of encoder for that. So long story short, sending in a mono signal is what I would want to do anyway. If I were going to send it a stereo signal, I would pan everything center, so it's effectively dual mono anyway. One XLR output gets me signal on both sides. So this cable would be an excellent way to do that. I've got a few other ones like that as well. And here I don't want to lose the little plug, so we're going to put it right back in its hole. There we go. One of the things I like to do is have a nice, clean, reliable, easy setup. And so check this out. I'm going to walk you guys through my wireless method of transmitting audio through this. So what I've got here, I use Sennheiser. I work for a Sennheiser dealer, and I really like Sennheiser products. Not being paid or endorsed by them, just 2 thumbs up on Sennheiser wireless stuff because of the point-to-point way that it works. So what I've got here is it's actually one of their wireless in-ear transmitters. So you can feed like a left and a right. Again, I would only ever use mono, but I would feed a signal into this. But basically, this would take audio and transmit it. You can tell it what frequency you want to operate it at, and then you're good to go. And then I've also got a belt pack receiver, right? So this is one that the same sort of thing, except it's all battery powered, right? So I could take my audio, and here's where we're going with this. I can send audio from, let's say, a wireless microphone or a mixing board or whatever I want, really. This will transmit to this, which I can now just clip onto the stand that the camera is on, right? So I got the camera on top. I've got my audio receiver underneath it, and then a quick little cable to come out and check this out. This is really great. I love this setup. I wish I got to use it more because it's really clever, but also it works well. So I'm going to come out of the belt pack, or it's actually just a battery-powered mic receiver, wireless receiver from, again, Sennheiser works. As long as the frequencies are the same, it'll generally just work. And so I'm going to take, so check this out. 1/8" comes out of here, right? And then it's a 90 degree, which means, oh, by the way, which means it fits. So if I'm using this aluminum heatsink, and this might be a good time to tangent real quick, is that you can get this to fit with a 90 degree. With the other one that I have, did I plug it back in? There it is. So I can get it to fit like that, and so that's basically what I've got on a stand. We put this on a stand, it's underneath the camera, and so this becomes invisible, and no one even sees that it's there in the 360 scope, in the image. So that works well here. What doesn't work, the first cable I showed you guys, unfortunately, the aluminum heatsink, while it's good for dissipating heat, is bad for letting other things plug into it. I wouldn't even be able to use this cable if I'm using the aluminum heatsink. So that's kind of a bummer. So this is my wireless hack. If you can get some sort of like a battery, battery bank underneath this thing. So like I said, hour and a half, 2 hours of battery life on this, with a power bank or something like that underneath this. With this, you've got yourself a totally mobile live stream, high quality audio solution, using the transmitter and belt pack battery powered receiver. Pow, that's awesome. It's so cool. Check this out one step further. We're talking about this, the in-ear transmitter, and it works great with that. But check this out. You can also use like a lav style. Again, it's Sennheiser, and so when it's on the same frequency, it'll just work, right? So when the frequency on this, when I set it to the same as the frequency on this, it just works. So with this one, check this out. So this is basically a belt pack transmitter. So you would use this for like a clip-on mic, a lav mic, or a headset mic. This is all bundled up right now, but this is just a clip-on style lav mic. And so if I'm doing a wedding, and I've done a wedding, right? So I'd stick this mic on the Efficient, and then we take the camera, put it wherever it needs to go, again, with the wireless belt pack here, and now it can go where it needs to, and we can record everything in high-quality audio. Additionally, we can use, like I said, a microphone like this, but you can also take it one step further. Sennheiser makes the cable that will basically take a female XLR and run it to this. So now I can come out of a mixer or any other microphone that I want to and turn it into a wireless transmission here. So lots of stuff you can do with the audio with this, whether it's the USB-C port or whether it's the 3.5 millimeter. And you know what? Incidentally, the built-in microphone on this, the little mono mic on this, is surprisingly good. It works better than I would have expected. I had one of these with a faulty 3.5 millimeter input jack, and I had a paying gig, about 2 weeks later, lined up, and I reached out to LabPano. Hey, how can I get one faster? Sending them emails or Facebook messages or whatever. How can I get one fast? What do I do about this? I got to make sure I've got one. They had me with a brand new one in time for my gig. Sent the old one back after I received it. So talk about a company that's really backing their customers. I'm really just a fan, right? So my business is kind of built around the capabilities of this camera, and there's business to be made with this sort of thing. So I just want to remind you that if you found any of what I've done, any of this stuff helpful or useful, I would absolutely encourage you. Click the link down below. If you want to buy one of these, I would absolutely appreciate the business.